This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome everybody to our morning deep stretch session. This is Katie. Just a reminder to listen to your bodies. Do what works for you today. And if you need any modifications or adaptations, just give me a holler and we'll work on it. Let's go ahead and start. As I said, make your way to your space if you're using a mat or a carpet today. And we'll get a nice neutral standing position, feet under hips, toes pointing forward. And we're just going to start with some nice, great big arm circles, taking them forward to start. So expanding the chest, taking the arms up, out in front of us, down, and behind us. Nice and slow. And let's start to take those big inhales through our nose, filling the lungs, and exhale through the mouth. Getting a little bit of noise feedback. Thank you. And let's go ahead and reverse those arm circles, still keeping them nice and slow, but now we'll take them behind us, backwards arm circles. As I said, keeping the breath going. Let's go about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and let those arms fall back down by your sides. Shake out the shoulders. We're going to do some nice slow glute kicks next to just start to get the body warmed up. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my right foot, taking my heel back towards my right glutes, placing that foot back down and repeating with the left side, kicking left heel to left glutes and placing the foot back down. Hands can go on your hips, or always welcome to keep a wall or a chair or some kind of support nearby if we need it. Still filling the lungs with air, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. You can pick up the pace just a little bit if you'd like to, or keep them going nice and slow. We'll go just a few more breaths here. And let's go ahead and get both feet back underneath our hips. We're going to do some hamstring scoops. We'll start with the right side. So I'm going to step my right foot, just a normal step out in front of me. I'm going to put my heel down into the mat, toes towards the ceiling. And I'm going to gently trace my fingertips down my leg towards my foot, stretching out the entire backside of the right leg. Once I reach as far as I can, I'm going to slowly raise myself back up to standing and repeat. So nice, gentle hamstring scoop. Stretch, warm up stretch. Let's take a big inhale when you're standing. Exhale as you reach down your leg. Just a couple more breaths here. And let's go ahead and step that right foot back underneath our hip, and we'll repeat with the left side, stepping the left foot out, heels down, toe up, and gently tracing the fingertips down the leg towards your foot, scooping the hamstring, rising back to standing and repeating. Now on the left side. Feeling our range increase as we do the stretch. Might get a little further each time. That's great. Go a couple more breaths here. And let's go ahead and step that left foot back underneath our hips. We're going to do 3 sun salutations, our last kind of dynamic movement before we get into our stretches. So we'll start in our neutral standing position, feet under hips, toes facing forward. I'm going to have my arms down by my sides, and then I'm going to take a great big inhale, reaching my arms out to the sides and up overhead, reaching as high as I can at the top. Then I'm going to exhale and forward fold. So exhale, reaching down towards my feet. I'm going to inhale and do a halfway lift. So taking my hands to my shins and inhaling, flattening out the back. Exhale, back to a full forward fold, reaching towards the mat. And I'm going to take a great big inhale, rising myself back up to standing, taking my arms out and overhead, bringing my palms together, and exhaling as I lower them in front of my face and chest. And we will repeat that entire sequence again. So starting with inhale, arms out and up, reaching, exhale, forward fold. Feeling that stretch along the back side of the legs. Inhale for a half lift. Flattening the back, taking your hands to your shins or your knees. Exhale, forward fold. And big inhale, up to standing, arms overhead, palms together. Exhale as we lower them. And we'll go one more here, setting up for it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Pushing the hips back, flattening the back out. Exhale, forward fold. And big inhale. Rising ourselves up, reaching as high as we can. Palms together, and exhale, lowering them. Wonderful. Well, now that we got our body temps up just a little bit, we're going to stay standing, and we're going to start with a little bit of a side lunge or a Cossack rock stretch. So I'm going to start in that neutral standing position, but I'm going to take my feet out wide. So I'd say 1 to 2 steps out here in a nice wide stance. Toes are still facing forward. Once we've gotten this nice wide stance, we're going to place our hands on our hips and take a slight bend in the knees. And we're going to gently rock ourselves over, shifting that weight over into our right leg, straightening out the left leg. So stretching that inner thigh. Kind of sink in there. And then we'll come back to center and shift into the left leg, straightening out the right leg. So feel free to shift back and forth here. Just kind of rocking in this nice wide stance, stretching the inner thighs. Make sure we continue to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's take a couple more breaths here. You can start to slow the stretch down, holding for a little bit longer on one side, shifting and holding into the other. And on your next inhale, go ahead and step the feet back together. Neutral standing position under your hips. And we're going to do some standing side bends. So we'll start by placing both hands on our hips. Toes are facing forward, and we'll go ahead and raise our right arm up overhead, fingertips to the ceiling. I'm going to take a great big inhale and exhale as I reach my right arm overhead to the left. And we'll just hold it here for a few beats, a few breaths. Feeling the body elongate on that right side. Just gently reaching those fingertips over ourselves to the left, keeping our chest open to the front of us. And let's go ahead and inhale, bring ourselves back to center. Place that right hand back on our hip. And we'll repeat with the left side, taking a big inhale, raising the left arm up overhead, fingertips to the ceiling, and gently exhaling and reaching that left arm now overhead to the right. Really feeling the left side of the back and the rib cage stretching out. Just continuing to take those soft but strong breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And let's inhale, come back to center and bring that left arm back down. Staying in this standing position, we're going to do our chest opening stretch, chest opener. So we'll take our hands and interlace our fingers behind our back. We're going to pull the shoulders back and up towards the ceiling, angling your chest and nose towards the ceiling as you pull your shoulders back. We're opening up those chest muscles, those shoulders that tend to get very rounded throughout your day. So we're going to open them up. And pay attention here if your back is really arching to try to open your shoulders up more. Keep your pelvis tucked and your abs engaged so that that back arching doesn't happen. Make sure we're taking nice big breaths. You can tilt the head side to side if you'd like. Left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Let's take a couple more breaths. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release those fingers and bring your arms back down by your sides. We're going to enter our transition as we get down to the mat. So we'll start by reaching our hands down towards the mat until we meet the floor by our feet. And then once we're here, we'll step our left foot back behind us. So now we're in kind of an extended lunge on the mat. World's greatest stretch. And feel free to drop that left knee down to the mat. So now we're in our deep lunge position. So hands are on either side of my right foot. Left knee is down on the mat. We can raise ourselves up. We can keep our hands down on the mat, or we can place them on our hips as we're in this deep lunge. We want to make sure we're kind of sinking our hips down and into that right leg, stretching the front of the left hip. This is another chronically tight part of our bodies. If we sit a lot, or if we do a lot of walking, hip flexors work very hard, but they get very tight. So it's important that we release them. With every exhale, seeing if you can sink just a little deeper into that lunge. And on your next exhale, go ahead and keep that right foot planted where it's at, but we're going to shift our hips back into our left leg, extending the right into a runner's lunge or half split. So my right foot heel is down, toes are up, the right leg is extended. My left knee is in the mat. I have multiple options for support with my hands. Hands might be down on the mat, they might be on my hips, or they might be using a wall or a chair for a little extra support. But we're feeling a nice stretch along the entire backside of the right leg. Continue to take those breaths in through your nose, expanding the chest and out through the mouth. On your next breath, let's go ahead and shift back into that front leg, bringing our hands again on either side of the foot. We'll gently bring our left foot back to meet our right. So we've brought ourselves almost completely back to standing while our fingertips or hands are still reaching towards the mat. And we will switch sides. So now we will step that right foot back long. Hands on either side of the left foot. World's greatest stretch. And then we will go ahead and drop the right knee down into the mat for our deep lunge stretch. Sinking the hips down and into the left leg. Stretching the front of the right hip now. Again, we have those options for our hands. They can be down on the mat, on our hips, or using external support. What's important is we're trying to release those tight hip flexors. Exhale and sinking a little lower. Good. We'll just take a few more breaths here. And on your next breath, let's gently start to shift the hips back into the right leg, straightening out the left leg, keeping the left heels planted and the toes up into half split or runner's lunge, stretching the entire backside of the left leg. And placing our hands where it's comfortable, where we can feel that stretch gently, but not intensely to the point where it's painful. And on your next breath, we can actually bring the left knee to meet the right knee, naturally bringing ourselves to a tabletop position. So my wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all stacked, and my knees are under my hips. Calves and feet are trailing behind my knees. Back is nice and flat. Let's go ahead and widen our knees out to either side of the mat and walk our hands out away from us just a little bit, a couple little steps. We'll take a nice big inhale, expanding the lungs, and then we'll exhale, sitting ourselves back into child's pose. So sinking the hips back towards your heels until they meet your heels, or you can always use a support or a pillow between your calf and hamstrings for a little extra support if you don't have a ton of knee flexion. And we're opening up the hips as well as getting a nice stretch in our lats or back muscles and shoulders. So feel free to walk out those fingertips even further away from your shoulders. Just trying to create separation between shoulders and hips. You have the option to stay here in this standard child's pose, or we can thread the needle. So if you are threading the needle with me, we'll take that right hand and we're going to thread it through between my left elbow and left knee, reaching out towards the left, turning the shoulders and chest and nose towards the left as we keep the left arm extended out in front of us. So this adds a little shoulder stretch. Remember to keep breathing. And on your next inhale, we can bring that right hand back and extend the right arm back out in front of us, and we'll switch sides, threading the left hand and arm through or between the right elbow and right knee, reaching it out to the right, gently turning the shoulders and a little bit of the chest in our nose towards the right. And continuing to take those nice, expanding, relaxing breaths. And on your next inhale, let's go ahead and bring that left arm back and extend it back out long in front of us. Let's take a couple more breaths here in this standard child's pose. And on your next inhale, let's gently rise ourselves back up to tabletop. And we'll do some cat-cows to kind of wash out the hips as they just held for a little bit. So from our tabletop position, we'll start with our cow. So we will take a big inhale, arch the back, tilt the hips up and the nose towards the ceiling. We can wiggle the hips left to right before we exhale into cat. Tucking the hips, pushing them forward, rounding the back, and pushing away from our palms. Bringing the nose back towards the mat. And let's alternate there. Just taking these at whatever pace feels good to you, but make sure we are incorporating the breath.
Crystal has left the meeting.
Two more big breaths here. And let's go ahead and find a comfortable way to get down to a seated position. So we will be seated with our legs extended out in front of us. Practicing our good posture, keeping our hips under our rib cage, shoulder blades in our back pockets. And we'll start with a nice seated forward fold. So I'm going to inhale, raise both arms up overhead, extending myself as long as I can. I'm going to exhale and gently fold forward, reaching my fingertips towards my toes. Stretching the back side of the legs. And we all have different ranges here. Some of us might be able to grab our entire foot. We might have our ankle or a shin. Or our knees. Range is okay and it's good. Flexibility is a trained aspect of fitness, as they all are. Continue to take those breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. On your next breath, we can release that stretch and gently roll ourselves up one vertebrae at a time, tracing our fingertips along the leg back towards our hips. And we'll come back up to that upright seated with our legs extended. And we're going to widen our legs out for a wide leg forward fold. We're going to add a little side stretch in there. So once we've widened our legs outside of our hips, heels down, toes up towards the sky, I'm going to inhale and raise my right arm up overhead. I'm going to exhale, reaching right arm overhead towards left toes. And if your chest and nose are facing the top of your left thigh, I challenge you to just add a slight turn, opening the chest inward and towards the right. See if that adds a little stretch in your right side. Trying to stretch the QL muscle, which is a very deep low back muscle that can be hard to hit sometimes, along with the back of our left leg, hamstring groups, calf groups. And let's go ahead and inhale, raising ourselves back up to center. Exhale, we can let our arm down, and we will repeat with the left arm. Inhale, raising it up overhead, and exhale, holding and reaching towards the right toes. And once again, just adding that gentle turn of the chest and nose inward to the left. And keep the breath going. And on your next breath, you can release that reach, bringing yourself back up to seated. And we're going to go into a butterfly stretch next. So we're going to take the bottoms of our feet together, letting our knees naturally fall out to the sides. We're going to add a nice gentle lumbar twist. So we can stay in the standard, or we have the option to take our left hand behind our back and take our right hand to our left knee, gently twisting our chest and shoulders towards the left. Still trying to keep our posture upright, just adding a gentle twist. And let's take a big inhale and exhale. We'll switch sides with our twist, taking our right hand behind our back, left hand to right knee, gently twisting our chest and shoulders to the right. Keep expanding our chest with every inhale and letting it out with every exhale. Let's take a big inhale. We'll exhale as we release that twist. And we can stay in the butterfly or a comfortable seated position. We're going to do a little bit of scapula opening. So we'll do that by giving ourselves a big hug, crossing the arms one over another in front of our chest, taking left hand to right shoulder blade, right hand to left shoulder blade. So giving ourselves a big hug. And then we're going to push or pull those elbows out in front of us, away from our back. Just kind of open those shoulder blades up. Stretching all those upper back muscles that also get very lengthened and tightened and pulled all sorts of ways from our shoulders. Let's take those great big breaths. And on your next exhale, you can release that hug. And we're going to gently take ourselves down onto a lying position on our backs. So whatever way we find to get there, we'll extend our legs out long. Arms can be down by our sides, palms facing down in that kind of corpse pose. And let's take a nice big inhale as we raise the right leg up towards the ceiling, keeping it straight as possible and extended. A slight bend in the knee is, of course, okay. But we're going to take both hands to the back of that right thigh. Just holding here in this extended leg stretch. And let's go ahead and bend the knee and bring the hands to the right shin and hug it into your chest. We're going to draw some ankle circles. First, we'll go clockwise, just gentle, drawing a circle with your toes, mobilizing that ankle. And we can switch to counterclockwise, just a few circles there. And on your next inhale, let's extend the leg long again, taking the foot towards the ceiling. And we're going to exhale and gently drop that right leg over to the left for our lying twist. I'm going to take my right arm out from my right shoulder and gently turn my nose to face my right hand for a nice gentle twist in the entire cervical, through thoracic, through lumbar spine. And we're just holding and breathing. On your next inhale, let's take that right arm back down by our sides. And we will bring the right leg back up, extended towards the ceiling. We can gently drop the right leg down, and we'll repeat the sequence with our left leg. So taking a big inhale, raising the left leg up towards the ceiling, extended, taking the hands along the back of the left thigh, holding the stretch here for just a moment. And then we can bend at the knee, taking the hands to the front of the left shin and hug the left knee into the chest. And start those ankle circles clockwise.
Neva Fairchild has left the meeting.
And we'll switch to counterclockwise with those ankle circles. And let's go ahead and extend the left leg back up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale, and then we will exhale as we drop the left leg over to the right for our lying twist. Taking the left arm out from our left shoulder and gently turning our head and nose to face the left hand. Just a gentle twist here. We'll continue to breathe. Let our body relax. And on your next breath, we can take that left arm back down by our sides. Inhale, extending the left leg back up towards the ceiling and gently dropping it down to the mat. Let's go ahead and bring our knees in a little bit. So we'll take our feet flat to the mat, knees up towards the ceiling, preparing for a lying figure 4 stretch. I'm going to start by taking my right leg, extending it up again, and gently taking my right ankle to the top of my left thigh or left knee. The right knee fall out to the side. And just using my hands to support where needed. It can be to gently guide that right knee away from my body. Or if we need a little more intense of a stretch here, we can take both hands, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh and pulling the left knee towards the chest, raising the left foot off the mat. Taking those deep restorative breaths as we stretch the right hip out. And on your next breath, you can release that right foot back down. Both knees are up towards the ceiling, feet are flat. And we will extend left leg up and gently take left ankle to top of the right thigh or right knee. Naturally, the left knee will fall out to the side. And we're just using our hands to guide that left knee gently away from us, or we want a deeper stretch, interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh and gently pulling the right knee towards the chest, raising the foot off the mat. And on your next breath, you can release that left leg back down. Both feet are flat on the mat, knees are pointing up to the ceiling. And we'll take both knees and bring them into our chest, giving them a big hug. And we'll just gently rock left to right here, massaging out the lower back. And we have the option to stay here and continue to just give yourself that massage, or we will reach for the bottoms of our feet and extend the leg so our bottom of our foot is parallel to the ceiling, widening them out just a little bit for a happy baby stretch. Continuing to take those breaths. And on your next breath, you can release those feet or those legs. We'll take them back out long for just a beat. Then we're actually going to bring the bottoms of our feet, staying in this lying position, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet back together for this lying butterfly here, where we'll end today. Just doing some breathing. So my knees are out wide. You can use pillows or blankets, any kind of support under your knees if you need. But just one last hip opener. We'll add a little wrist stretching here as well. If the lying butterfly is just uncomfortable, you can just extend your legs out long. But let's go ahead and raise our right arm up, fingertips towards the ceiling. We're just over our shoulder. And I'm going to take my left hand and grab my right fingertips and just gently pull them down towards the floor, making the palm go up towards the ceiling. And let's reverse that wrist stretch. So now I will point or take my left hand and guide the fingertips, right fingertips down, flexing the wrist. Palm now is facing towards the ground. Top of the hand is to the ceiling. And let's go ahead and switch it out. You can let the arms down for a second, give them a quick break. Then we'll raise the left arm up, fingertips towards the ceiling. We'll use our right hand to gently guide the left fingertips down, facing us towards our face, and our left palm goes parallel to the ceiling. And we'll go ahead and switch that wrist stretch. Now, flexing the wrist, palm facing down, top of the hand towards the ceiling. And on your next breath, go ahead and release that arm down and gently bring yourself up to seated and give yourself a pat on the back. Great job today. I hope you enjoyed our stretch workout. We'll hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you.